Now, from the station you count on, this is KARK 4 News at 10 in high definition.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen.
I'm Jessica Dean. You can say we saw it coming. Top-tier academic institutions trying to lure U of A Athletic Director Jeff Long away from Arkansas. Now it appears to be in motion.
His handling of the Bobby Petrino incident garnered him praise and respect nationwide. And tonight, word off the Hill is that the king of the Hill, Jeff Long, well, apparently in the sights of Stanford University. For the very latest, we're joined by Adam Alter in Fayetteville with a look at where this came from and perhaps which way Jeff Long is leaning.
Separate sources, Long has been contacted by Stanford University in California. Now, Stanford's athletic director is leaving the school, and Long has been named as a candidate for the job. One source, a school official at the U of A, says Stanford has reached out to Long, but that Long has not yet responded. Now, the source also stresses that Long is not a, quote, finalist for the job, despite rumors circulating on internet message boards. Now, we contacted Long to ask about the Stanford AD job, but he has declined to give a statement. Jeff Long has been the University of Arkansas's athletic director since 2007, has been spoken highly of in the national media since letting former head football coach Bobby Petrino go in April after a scandal involving a young female employee. So to recap tonight, guys, what we do know is Stanford has reached out to Long. Don't know yet if he's reached out back.
Much more to come on that, Adam. Thank you very much. A standoff tonight in North Little Rock. All of it taking place right next door to a daycare. It began while the kids were inside. This began after 6 o'clock tonight. It is now after 10 o'clock in the evening. And for the very latest, we check in with Brittany Johnson, who was at the scene first. Brittany, how are the kids tonight?
We're told, Bob, that these kids are just fine. They were a couple of doors down. Police say they were moved to a neighbor's home when all of this first started, and then they were finally taken to a church where their parents were able to pick them up safely. We're told, however, things did not go so smoothly for the suspect. Police tell us they were at the home right behind us, that's 701 North Vine Street. They have been monitoring this home for a couple of days now. That's because the suspect, 33-year-old Kenneth Allen Smith, we're told that he threatened neighbors with a gun just this week. So for that reason, police have been monitoring him. They finally got a search warrant to come and check the house because, again, they believed he had weapons inside. He's also a veteran, we're told by police, and he has a history of mental problems. Police say when they tried to deliver the search warrant today, first they negotiated with him, and when that failed, they threw gas inside. Then their SWAT team members entered the home with cameras and search dogs, and they were finally able to subdue him around 8 o'clock.
Once we were called and notified that he had threatened some children and another resident, it seemed pretty serious that we wanted to make sure nobody got hurt while we were attempting to obtain the search warrant.
Now, while no one nearby was hurt, a couple of officers were. We were told there was a slight struggle as they tried to subdue Smith. A couple of officers will need stitches, we're told, and the suspect, Smith, well, he was bitten by a dog on the foot and was taken to the hospital to be treated for that, as well as receive a couple of other stitches. We're told, however, once he is treated at the hospital, he will be taken to jail and held without bond. Live in North Little Rock, Brittany Johnson, KARK 4 News.
New for you tonight at 10, the recent death of an attorney in Clinton brings to light problems with ambulance service in rural Arkansas counties. As KARK4's Deidre Wilson explains tonight, the state now getting involved to make sure a plan is in place to ensure all get the proper care they need. Deidre?
Jessica, it's a hot topic for change and implementing rules already in place in the health department. Those rules come in form of an agreement that had not been turned in by Southern Paramedic by the state's deadline.
There is language in there that they were supposed to have backfill agreements on file with us by March 31st. This particular ambulance company did not have that on file with us.
The particular company Bill Temple with the Arkansas Department of Health is referring to Southern Paramedic in Clinton. According to a police report, 43-year-old Brett Blakeney was punched by a patron back on May 3rd. That hit caused him to fall and hit his head on the ground. All of this taking place in front of his restaurant, the Black Dog Grill. Blakeney was taken to Ozark Health in Clinton by Southern Paramedic, where, according to a report, he stayed for 4 hours. A nurse told police unless he was transported, he would lay there and die. The report also showed the helicopter couldn't transport because of fog.
So it was going to have to be a ground transport.
Southern Paramedic had sent one of its 2 ambulances to Little Rock. According to CEO of Southern Paramedic, Gary Paget, the rule is the other ambulance couldn't leave the county. Around 4 a.m. that morning, police received word Blakeney had died. To ensure a situation like this doesn't happen again, the backfill agreement must be in place.
The backfill agreement provides that the ambulance service in the adjoining county comes in and covers that county while that ambulance is gone.
In light of the Blakeney incident, Ed Barham with the Arkansas Department of Health says they would like to initiate an urgent trauma transfer rule.
There never has been so far regulation that covered the kind of thing that happened in Clinton. That we know needs to be in place.
However, progress is being made. The MIM system has been in place for about 16 months, headquarters for all emergency calls from paramedics.
We've made tremendous progress in moving the trauma system to where it needs to be. But still today, there's a lot of work to do.
Now, if the backfill plan had been initiated on the night Blakeney died, the closest ambulance would have taken over an hour to get to Clinton, and then it would have taken over another hour to get him to Little Rock. Back to you.
Tonight, a tragic discovery in Hillcrest. Little Rock police say a man suffering a diabetic attack was trying apparently to get some help when he got into his car, but then crashed the car and then died. The victim's name is not being released, but detectives say the 29-year-old male was discovered in the 600 block of Ridgeway. They say through investigating the incident here in the scene, they determined that there is no foul play involved in this at all. The victim, they say, has a history of diabetes and had told a loved one earlier tonight that he was having issues with that.
State police investigating a police chase that ended in the death of a 26-year-old Bradley County man. According to state police, a report that they put out, Bradley County deputies were chasing Keyshawn Jamison across county lines into Drew County. Jamison reportedly lost control of his car and hit a woman driving along Highway 278 West. Jamison pronounced dead at Drew Memorial Hospital. That woman was injured but has been released from the hospital. In a KARK 4 News update tonight, it's been nearly 2 months and still no final report on the cause of a fire that killed a family of 5 in Jacksonville. In the early morning of March 22nd, a neighbor smelled smoke in an adjacent apartment on South Simmons. Jacksonville firefighters did not find a trace of fire that first time they checked. When they were called back to that scene nearly 2 hours later, the bodies of Marilyn Beavers and her 4 children were found inside.
Injured Jacksonville firefighter Jason Bowmaster has been released from the hospital after being hit by a car back in March. Bowmaster, Fire Captain Donald Jones, and Jacksonville Police Officer Daniel DiMatteo were all hit in the accident. Jones was killed. DiMatteo is still recovering. The driver, Bryce Allen, facing murder charges. Homeowners worried about bulldozers headed to their neighborhood, making way for Little Rock Technology Park, garnering support and new strategies to fight back tonight. At the Forest Hills Homeowners Association meeting, people suggested signing a petition on change.org, also uploading YouTube videos to show pride in their community. Earlier this week, Judge Wendell Griffin asked the city to consider an ordinance to prevent taxpayer dollars from being used to displace residents. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening there, no doubt. New developments this evening in the case of horses allegedly stolen from Southern Arkansas University's rodeo team. The Columbia County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says 2 people have been arrested and charged in connection to the alleged thefts of 5 rodeo horses. 38-year-old William Hamilton and 17-year-old George Barish of Ashdown, Arkansas, both facing 6 felony theft counts. Authorities believe that the horses were stolen during the overnight hours from the stables in Magnolia last November. 4 horses were later recovered alive in southeast Oklahoma, but the 5th was found dead.
A Hot Spring County man faces 2 different counts of cruelty to animals. Following a tip from a neighbor, an investigator found 2 horses severely neglected in Glen Rose. And we want to let you know some of these pictures are graphic. One of the horses in such bad shape it couldn't support its own weight. Authorities on the scene, including the Hot Spring County Sheriff's Office, called a veterinarian who advised they put that horse down. The Hot Spring County Sheriff's Office cited the owner, Tommy Kirkpatrick. He will go before a judge next month.
A Little Rock teen who reportedly killed her mother's abusive boyfriend has not been charged. The 15-year-old girl says Daryl Winfrey was beating her mom when family members tried to stop him. Winfrey attacked them as well. Police spokesperson Terry Hastings says the couple had a history of domestic violence and the teen intervened to save her mother's life. Hastings says they will leave it up to the prosecutor to decide if the teen will be charged.
The Saline County Sheriff's Office sending out a nationwide alert on an escaped inmate. A spokesperson says that inmate walked away from work detail Wednesday afternoon. Timothy Berthelsen was going to be released today, so deputies don't know why he left. He was on a work detail for nonviolent offenders and received some time off his sentence for doing that manual labor.
Think about it. You're getting to go, you're outside of the jail, you're getting to do something, you know, to help occupy your time, make time go faster. You're earning extra time on your time here, so why would you want to screw that up?
Berthelsen was jailed for not going to court, but now he's facing far more serious charges.
Now from KARK4, your weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
Another hot one across Arkansas today. Temperatures topping out in the mid-80s.